I'm going to let you give your lungs and your lips and your tongue a break for a moment and ask you to use your mind and think about where music comes from. Music is based in sound, and sound is based on vibration. Anything that vibrates causes a sound. 2,500 years ago, the Greek philosopher Pythagoras noticed that certain sounds were clearly different, but somehow similar. Much more similar than any other two sounds. He decided to break the distance, the musical distance, between these two sounds into 12 equal parts. Today, we call this breakup the chromatic scale, and it's reflected in the use of the 12 notes that repeat themselves on the piano keyboard. However, we don't usually use all 12 of those notes when we're playing a piece of music. Instead, we choose 7 or 8 of those notes out of these 12 and use what is called a smaller scale. The major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, is used in a great deal of our culture's music. However, it's the blues scale. That's of most interest to us harmonica players. The 7 notes of the blues scale can be put together to form blues music of any kind. Of course, blues scales can be played on any instrument, not just the harmonica. On the guitar, they sound like this. On flute-style instruments, a blues scale would sound like this. On the giant 64-style chromatic with its slide button, one of Little Walter's favorite instruments, a blues scale would sound like this. Music theory is an incredibly important subject for musicians, so if you'd like to learn more about this fascinating topic, you might want to check out Music Theory Made Easy, one of my most popular books. I'll also give you information on my instructional methods for flute, guitar, and other instruments at the end of the tape. But for now, let's go back to our favorite instrument, the harmonica, and see how we can start applying the blues scale to what we do. It'll probably be a while before any of you beginning harmonica players can actually play a real blues scale, because playing a blues scale requires 2 abilities. The ability to get single notes, by making a small hole with your mouth, and the ability to bend notes. Bending, which I've talked about just a little, involves pulling the tongue back in the mouth to block the airflow going down the throat. This makes the little metal reed in the harmonica vibrate differently and causes the note to sound lower than it normally does. Let's pretend my hand is my tongue. I'll move it back in my mouth and you'll hear that note bend, starting with the 2-draw. A nice growling, funky effect, very important for blues, but difficult for beginners and dependent, as I say, on the ability to get single notes. If you're interested in bending, you may at some point want to try my Bending the Blues package. Been used by many tens of thousands of harp players to hone their bends and to get that first all-important bend. I'm discussing bending notes now because bending is necessary to play the blues scale. The most commonly used blues scale is called the cross or second position blues scale. Here I'll play it from the 2 in to the 6 out. Little B's in the notation indicate bent notes. And going down, blues scale sure sounds nice. We'll start to learn to play it in pieces. by playing licks chosen from pieces of the blues scale. Now let's use some of the harmonica notes from the middle of the blues scale to create a Bob Dylan style lick or riff. For this one, we will put our lips on the 4 and 5 holes. That means we're crimped in a little bit. Let your lips protrude out. Get your harmonica way in between them. Try to get a good seal between the harmonica and your lips. So aim at that 4 and 5 and give me 3 oys, or an oy and 2 yoys, like this. Oi, oi, oi. Really exaggerate that oi. Keeping your lips small, drop your jaw. Oi, oi, oi. Do it with a little bit of percussion on the in-breath on each oi and each yoy. Okay, lips on the 4 and 5. We're going to do 3 oi, yoy, yoy. And then instantly in the middle of the 3rd yoy, change to a blow. Get this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's oi, yoy, yoy, blow. That blow from the draw to the blow has to come in exactly the right time. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice that till it feels comfortable. Now, we're going to use these notes, 4 and 5 in, 4 and 5 out, in that pattern, and we're going to make 2 different variations on a lick. For the short variation, we'll simply move our lips over a little bit towards the low end and end on a single percussive in-breath on the 3 and 4 in notes. So the whole thing will sound like this. I'll start here for the 4 and 5 in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Practice that for a little while. To do the long version, we will do 1, 2, 3. So in other words, we'll do 2 of the original in, out. Repeat that twice, and then do the short version on top of it. Great. Now we'll put together those 2 new licks, the long version and the short version, to create a blues solo similar to something that Mr. Dylan might have done on one of his early albums. We'll do the short version 4 times, and then the long version once, and that will fill up 1 blues verse. Ready? Get that beat. A 1, 2 on the short, now.